on the birth of Matsyagandha. The rishis said, "O Suta, your words sound wonderful to us indeed, but you have not yet spoken to us about the original events in detail, so a great doubt has arisen in our minds. We know that King Shantanu married Vyasa's mother, Satyavati. Now, say in detail how Vyasa became her son. How did a chaste woman like Satyavati, while remaining in her own house, come to be married again to Shantanu? And how were the two sons born from Shantanu's seed and Satyavati's ovum? Now, O highly fortunate Suvrita, kindly describe in detail this highly sanctifying historical fact. These rishis, who are observing woes, are eager to hear about the birth of Vedavyasa and Satyavati." Suta said, "I bow down with devotion to the highest primordial force, the bestower of the fourfold aims of human existence, who grants all desires when prayed to with the Vagbhav Bija mantra with heart and soul, ensuring success in all endeavors. The above bija is so potent in its effect that even when pronounced lightly, even as a mere pretext, it grants all siddhis. Therefore, the Devi should always be remembered by all means. Now, saluting her, I begin my narration of these auspicious Puranic events. Long ago, there reigned a king named Uparichara. He ruled over the Chedi country and respected the Brahmans. He was truthful and very religious. Indra, the lord of the Devas, became very pleased by his asceticism and presented him with an auspicious celestial chariot capable of flying in the air, made of pearls and crystals, allowing him to do as he wished. Mounting that divine chariot, the religious king travelled everywhere. He never remained on earth. He always resided in the sky, which earned him the name Uparichara Vasu, one who moves in the upper regions. He had a very beautiful wife named Girika, and 5 powerful sons of indomitable vigor were born to him. The king gave separate kingdoms to each of his sons and made them rulers. Once, on an occasion, Girika, the wife of Uparichara Vasu, after taking her purifying bath following menstruation, came to the king and expressed her desire to conceive a son. However, on that very day, his Pitris, ancestors, requested him to hunt deer and other animals for their Shraddha, solemn obsequies performed in honor of deceased ancestors. Hearing the request of the Pitris, the king of Sedi became somewhat anxious about his wife, who was in her fertile period. But considering the words of his ancestors more powerful and more worthy of obedience, he went out on a hunting expedition, keeping the thought of his wife, Girika, in his heart. While he was in the forest, he remembered his wife Girika, who was as beautiful and lovely as Kamala, goddess Lakshmi, and at that moment he involuntarily experienced an emission of semen. He collected the semen on the leaf of a banyan tree and thought, "This semen must not go to waste. My seed cannot remain unfruitful. My wife has just passed her menstruation period, and I will send the semen to my dear wife." Thus, thinking the time ripe, he enclosed the semen under the leaves of the banyan tree and, charging it with mantra power, addressed a falcon nearby. "O highly fortunate one, take this, my semen virile, and go to my palace. O beautiful one, do this task for me, take this semen virile, fly quickly to my palace, and hand it over to my wife Girika, for today is her menstruation period." Suta said, "O rishis," thus saying, the king gave the leaf containing his virile essence to the falcon, who, being swift in the air, took it and immediately soared high. Another falcon, seeing this one flying with a leaf in its beak, mistook it for a piece of flesh and attacked. Immediately, a fierce fight ensued between the two birds, each striking with its beak. During the battle, the leaf containing the semen virile fell from their beaks into the waters of the Yamuna river. Then, the two falcons flew away as they pleased. O rishis, while the falcons were fighting, an Apsara, celestial nymph, named Adrika came near a Brahman who was performing his Sandhya Vandanam, daily prayers, on the banks of the Yamuna. That beautiful woman, while bathing in the river, playfully dived and, in jest, grabbed the feet of the Brahman. The Dvija, twice born, engaged in pranayam deep breathing exercises, realized her amorous intentions and, in anger, cursed her, saying, "As you have interrupted me in my meditation, so shall you become a fish." Adrika, one of the best apsaras, thus cursed, assumed the form of a fish, Safari, and spent her days in the Yamuna waters. When the semen virile of Uparichara Vasu fell from the beak of the falcon, the fish Adrika quickly swallowed it and became pregnant. After 10 months had passed, a fisherman came to the river and caught Adrika in his net. When the fish's belly was torn open, 2 human babies instantly emerged from the womb. One was a lovely boy, and the other was a beautiful girl. The fisherman was greatly astonished to see this. He went and informed the king of that place, Uparichara Vasu, that a boy and a girl had been born from the womb of a fish. The king was also greatly surprised and accepted the boy, who appeared auspicious. This son of Vasu was highly energetic, powerful, truthful, and religious like his father. He became famous by the name Matsyaraja. Uparichara Vasu gave the girl to the fisherman. This girl was named Kali, and she later became famous by the name Matsyodri. Because the smell of fish emanated from her body, she was also called Matsyagandha. Thus, the auspicious daughter of Vasu remained and grew up in the fisherman's house. The rishis said, "The beautiful Apsara, cursed by the Muni, turned into a fish. She was later cut open and eaten by the fisherman." Very well, what happened afterward to that Apsara? How was she freed from that curse? And how did she return to the heavens? Thus questioned by the rishis, Suta spoke as follows. When the Apsara was first cursed by the Muni, she was greatly astonished. She began to weep and cry like one deeply distressed and then started praising him. The Brahman, seeing her weeping, took pity on her and said, "O good one, do not weep. I will tell you how your curse will end. As a result of my wrath, you will be born as a fish. When you give birth to 2 human children, you will be freed from your curse." The Brahman having spoken thus, Adrika took the form of a fish in the waters of the Yamuna. Afterward, she gave birth to 2 human children and was freed from the curse. She then left the fish form, regained her divine form, and ascended to the heavens. O rishis, the beautiful girl Matsyagandha was thus born, nurtured in the fisherman's house, and grew up there. When the extraordinarily lovely daughter of Vasu, Matsyagandha, reached her youth, she continued to perform all the household duties of the fisherman and remained there. Thus ends the first chapter of the second book on the birth of Matsyagandha in the Mahapurana Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, consisting of 18,000 verses, composed by Maharishi Vedavyasa.